Welcome back to Dinner with Scott. Today we're going to be looking at the components that make up our main course. What we're doing is a pan-seared roasted beef fillet, which we've marinated in some chimichurri mix. We're then going to serve that with a orange kumara, feta, beetroot and asparagus salad, and finish with some of the actual chimichurri sauce. So I need to get the chimichurri made. Now, chimichurri is a South American, particularly an Argentinian sauce, a wee bit like a pesto possibly from the Italian sort of side of things, but goes wonderful with grilled meats, especially beef. So into my food processor, I'm going to put a quantity of Italian parsley and coriander, stalks and all, because we're going to process this down, and there's lots of flavour in the actual stalks as well. To that, a couple of cloves of garlic. I'm going to put in some salt and pepper. Then we're going to add some red wine vinegar. And then some oil to start off. So we want to get this process down as fine as we can. We want to have a little look at it and also a wee taste, check the seasoning. Yep, looking good. So if you like it more with the coriander, then add more coriander to it, or if you like more of the Italian parsley, then you're going to add more of that to it as well. Just a wee bit more oil, and then I think the consistency is going to be perfect. So we're now going to just get all that goodness and place it into a bowl. Just going to move our food processor out of the way. So I'm just going to bring over my beef and show you the beef. So basically I've taken a beef fillet, a whole beef fillet. I've taken off a wee bit of the tail end and I've taken off the top end. So all I'm left with is basically a nice section in the middle, ideal for our 4 portions for our dinner party. So what I'm going to use is some of the chimichurri. So instead of putting it all in the bowl, I've just left the nice bits in the bottom. So I'm going to scrape all those over the top, get all that out of the What I'm going to do is just put on some disposable gloves. Now while I'm doing that, I've got my fry pan on a high heat because we're going to sear the beef fillet to get some colour into it before we put it in the oven to roast. So some oil in the bottom of that. So with our beef fillet here, so what I'm doing is taking that chimichurri sauce and massaging that into the beef. Now ideal, leave this overnight in your fridge or for a couple of hours, and that's going to add more flavour to it. But I don't have that luxury today, so I'm just going to massage as much of that as I can into the meat. So it's soaked up quite a bit of that. You can see my oil's getting nice and hot. We'll get rid of our gloves, which make life a lot cleaner and easier. A wee bit of salt and pepper. So our oil's nice and hot. We're going to take our pieces of beef And in they go. So we want that heat as high as you can get your stove. And we want to seal all the edges, get some nice colour into the meat. So you can see we're getting some nice caramelisation there happening. So just keep turning the pieces of meat so they're seared on all sides. Now if your fry pan can go into the oven, if it hasn't got a plastic handle or a metal handle, then you can just slide the whole pan in the oven. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to transfer mine to an oven tray. So onto the tray it goes. Just going to pour over a wee bit of the cooking juices. And that's going to go into a hot oven around about 180, 200 degrees, and we're going to cook that till it's nice and medium rare. So that goes in the oven. So on to our salad that we're going to serve with our main course. Now this salad can be served as an individual salad, great with barbecued meats, just great on the table when you have friends round for a dinner party or even just for a barbecue. So I'm going to just put some spinach into my bowl. To that I've got some orange kumara which I've already cooked. But before I get on to the orange kumara, asparagus is in season at the moment, so we're actually going to serve some asparagus in our salad. If you don't know the trick by now with your asparagus stems, when you buy them, just break the ends and they'll break where you want them to, and you remove that end piece. I'm just cutting them on the angle. I've got a wee bit of butter on there, a wee bit of salt and pepper, and all I'm going to do is just pop that in the microwave, a little dash of water in the bottom. And that's going to go into the microwave and work away quite happily. So back to our kumara. Orange kumara, I like it, it's got a nice flavour, it's got a great colour. You could use normal kumara. I just cut it into cubes, wee bit of oil, wee bit of salt in the oven and roasted that off. So that's going to go in with our spinach. Some beetroot. So I'm just using baby beetroot just out of the can. If you've got your own beetroot, use it. Now some of these are a wee bit bigger, so I just need to cut them down a wee bit smaller. We don't want huge pieces of beetroot, but some of the smaller ones I'm just going to leave the way they are. They don't need to be cut down any further. We'll just cut those couple as well. And they go with our kumara. Then some feta. So a nice piece of feta. We just want to cut that into some cubes. Now if you're not a fan of feta, then you could use another cheese that you might like. But feta goes really nice with the ingredients in the salad. So then just come through the other way. We've got those wonderful cubes. So we're just going to give that a toss. What I'm going to use is, earlier on in the dinner party series, we've made some herbal oil. So I'm just going to use a wee bit of the herb oil, just as a wee bit of a dressing, just to add some flavour and just to moisten those ingredients down. So we're now just going to toss everything together. Now this could also be a warm salad. You could actually roast your kumara, and then when you bring it out of the oven, just add all the ingredients into it straight away. And of course that way the spinach would wilt down a wee bit, or you can do it this way where I've had everything already ready to go. So you can see we've got nice colours in there, really nice and healthy. We'll check our asparagus. And the asparagus doesn't need much at all. So that's ready to go. In that goes. It's always great to use asparagus when it's in season because it's only a short season. And again, we want to toss that through. So basically, if you are serving it as part of a barbecue, then onto a nice platter. Make sure we get some of that asparagus on top. So there we have our wonderful orange kumara, beetroot, feta, spinach and asparagus salad. Here we have our seared beef on our salad of orange kumara, finished with our chimichurri sauce.